Today I'm going to show you how to get two samples in two different keys and tempos to work together in the same beat. You get me? So to get started, I pulled out two different sample loops from my brand new free pack. It's got 36 melody loops. They're all royalty free. You can get them in the description below. So let's listen to this one. It's called Bonsai at G sharp minor and 140 BPM. And then the second one is called Mega D minor and 83 BPM. So you might ask, how the hell are we going to get these two samples to work together? Let me show you real quick. Obviously, together, they don't sound like they go together whatsoever. You can give it a listen here.
I gotta tell you, that sounds awful.
We're going to change that, and we're going to get it to sound really good. First, I like to pick one sample and kind of base everything off of that. And this is going to be my main sample, and we're going to actually put it to 140 BPM. We can stretch that, but just to keep it simple, we're going to do that. I'm going to normalize it, gain stage, bring the volume down a little bit, and turn on generic bleeding. Send it to a mixer track. Do the same thing here. Normalize generic bleeding. Send it to its own mixer track. So we're at G sharp minor, and just to take a quick look at the piano, G sharp minor is right here, and we're going to base it off of that. So let's keep it in G sharp minor, and we're gonna have to turn this other sample into G sharp minor. So you're gonna go to that wrench, and just to get a quick look at it again, G sharp minor is here and D is here or here. So you can go down or you can go up. It really doesn't matter, but I'm gonna be going down to D5. So I'm gonna go from G sharp to D5 right here. So we're gonna count the notes in between that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 semitones, which equals 600 cents. If you break it down, it's kind of like centimeters and meters. So think of it like that. It's just a smaller version of itself. So you have an octave, which has 12 semitones in it, also meaning it has 1200 cents in it. Knowing that we have to change it by 600 cents or 6 semitones, we're gonna go into the sampler here, go to this pitch wheel, and we're gonna go down 600 cents, right? So down, you can see up in the top left where it's changing, we're gonna go negative 600. And once we're in negative 600, we're gonna be locked in to G sharp minor. Now, the tempo doesn't match up. So how are we gonna fix that? We're gonna turn it on stretch mode up in the top left of the playlist, and we're gonna stretch it to the nearest like fourth block. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna stretch it to the end of this dark gray block right here. Once that stretches, make sure you zoom in and just hold the Alt key to temporarily disengage the snap tool, so that way you can get it to snap in perfectly to that grid, or else you're gonna have some timing issues. Sometimes the pitch resets after you stretch, so you might wanna stretch it first. If you do it how I just did it, just make sure maybe reset that pitch wheel and then bring it down 600 cents again, just to make sure that we're locked into that same exact key. Now we can listen to this sample by itself. We might run into some frequency issues where both samples are sounding like they're in the same frequency range. You can adjust that by choosing one of those samples to be maybe your lead melody, right? So in this case, the one that we pitched and time stretched, I want that to be my sort of lead melody. So we can bump this up another octave, right? There's a couple different ways you could do that. Like I said beforehand, you could, instead of going down here, you could go up to the nearest D, right? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the same amount up. It's like smack dab in the middle of both of those keys. So you can go up and you'll have a higher octave G sharp minor, right? Or you can do it by using this pitch wheel right here, which is super useful in the sampler. We're going to be turning this to 12. So that way, when we turn this pitch wheel all the way up or all the way down, we know that it's going to be going a full octave in each direction. So I'm going to turn that up. And then you also have to turn this on stretch mode. So turning that on stretch mode will allow you to change the pitch of that entire sample using that pitch wheel up in the top right. Now you can hear that we have this sample now at a higher octave, which is going to fit better because our main melody loop is a lower octave and it's going to be more of our main. You could also get rid of some of those frequencies with EQing, right? But we want to make sure that the initial sample is fitting just a little bit better. We can add EQs and all that stuff after as well. So just give it a quick listen in this octave. And then you can reset it and see the difference. And then again, in that mixer, I'm just gonna do some EQing and we're gonna kill some of those lows. And then you could do the opposite on that main melody, right? Make some room for the 808. We're not gonna pull off too many lows here. And then just duck down in those highs where we want that other melody to shine through. All right, now we can see which parts fit in this melody loop, because obviously not everything's gonna fit. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you could just like smack it right on top of that loop and it just works. Other times not so much. I mean, they do sound good together. You can hear that they're both at the same tempo and they're both in the same key right now. And because we did that pitch shift up to the higher octave, they really go together well, and we did some of that EQing too. But I want to get a little bit creative here, and we can chop this green melody here, this higher octave pitched melody, and we can choose different parts from it that we can add into that other one and really just create a full dynamic entire loop. Yeah, I really like this section with that high piano. I think that's gonna really accent and add to that main melody loop that we have. So I chopped it right here. I'm just gonna get rid of that first half because I really like everything in this second half. We can just trim that up, and then we can use elements of this section of the loop. Now I'm gonna go to chop, time-based, and we can chop in beats, and then we can get super creative with it. We can mix, match, and move these chops around any way we'd like. Just chopping things up, moving them around. Add this one, just copy and paste this one over. We can give this one like a double chop. And then switch up the end of this, maybe duplicate it, add a little ending to it. Sauce up that main melody by using some of the gross beat presets that I made. Add some stereo separation to just widen things out a little bit. I'm gonna add some reverb to that secondary sample that we have for that lead melody. Now I'm just going to cook up some drums and let's hear the full beat. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to grab these 36 free melody loops, it also comes with all the stems for each melody loop. Hit the link down in the description below and make sure to share this with a friend if you get me.